I'm Lisa Mensch, and I'm an occupational therapist at Shiva.
How long have you been here?
Been working here almost 16 years.
So you've seen a lot here.
A lot. Been here for quite a few. Yeah, a lot of operations, a lot of wars. I've never seen this amount of trauma. The amount of the different types of trauma that we've seen are such just injuries that I've never seen before. And I was here for Suketan and I think Ofera Itsuka, but I can't remember. But for sure for Suketan. And I mean, we thought then that the injuries that we were seeing were massive, and the way that we dealt with it then was incredible. And this time the injuries have been all four extremities, and then also internal injuries, and just things we've never seen before. And the learning curve was so steep, so fast, that we had to just adjust in our treatment. Well, we had protocols that were in place for maybe a bullet wound, or maybe a nerve injury, or maybe broken bones, or an amputation of a hand. And then all of a sudden you have these people that are coming in that are soldiers and also citizens that have injuries that are, it's not just a gunshot wound, but it's also an explosive device that also caused an amputation, and also so many things at once being thrown at you. And you don't know where to look first or where to treat first. And all the protocols that you had before all of a sudden are out the window. You have to start making new protocols and start just being better at your job. And also dealing with the emotions of having to deal with what the country is going through and what you're going through personally, and try to put that aside and just deal with the people that are coming in and doing your job and doing the best ability that you can, which was hard. I know a lot of people remember details, but for me, I seem to be blocking out a lot of what I've been through, because also I had 3 soldiers. I had 3 of my children that were in the Army. So every time we had someone come in, I also had to try to not make it personal. So which was hard. It's very hard not to see your own family member in that bed, but it must have been that way also for everybody else. The injuries were nerve injuries, a lot of nerve injuries. There were some people that were with tourniquets for 9 hours at a time, which it's not meant to be. So we're seeing people that did not have any blood flow to their limbs for a long period of time, and that was something we had never really encountered before. Most people, they're in the field maybe for an hour, 2 hours, and then they're medevaced out to the hospital. And these people were in the field waiting for people to medevac them out. So we were seeing people that were coming in, they had no movement in their arms, and then we had to start making protocols on how to help people heal. And for the most part, most of the people that had tourniquets, they all had spontaneous recovery, which was amazing. In the beginning, I just didn't know where to put any of my energy, so I would come in at 5:30 in the morning. I couldn't sleep, so 5:30 in the morning, I would get up. I would get to the hospital by 5:30, 5:45, and then I would start my day, and I just wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to leave, because leaving, what would I do at home? Because once you leave the hospital, when you're here and you're dealing and you're helping and you're doing your job and you're constantly busy, it kind of helps numb everything else that's going on, put everything else in the background. And then when you go home, you have to deal with actually what's going on, and personally, and also in the country. So for me, I would put in 12-hour days. I would come in on days that I wasn't even meant to be here, because there was nowhere else I wanted to be. And also my patients, I just wanted to be there for them. I just, there was that sense of that you really wanted to help the people that were here and be there for them. I mean, personally, it really helped me be busy, but also professionally, I was always being challenged to do something a little bit better. I don't even know if I'm making any sense.
You're making a lot of sense.
I don't know. It's like there's so much to unpack, and I don't even know how to unpack it. I'm finally taking a vacation for the first time since the 7th. So that'll be time to deal, I guess. I'm not really sure what. Or just relax. Just stay in motion.
Yeah.
Just stay in motion. That's just basically what I did for 11 months. Stay in motion. Constantly reading, constantly learning, constantly searching for things. I wrote actually in the beginning when we started seeing patients coming in with the tourniquet and all the problems we were seeing. We'd never seen it before. So I started writing to therapists that had dealt with people from Iraq, soldiers from Iraq that also probably didn't have were in the field for a long time. And I started writing to all these American Army, and they wrote back to me that they also have never seen. There was just silence. There was silence. Like no one knew how to write back. No one had ever seen what we were seeing. It was totally something new. I mean, unfortunately, something new. And the doctors here are amazing. Like they in the beginning we had to make choices of how to save limbs and how to promote function, and now they are just, the protocols have changed, everything has changed, and things are just a little bit more clearer on how to treat the injuries that we're seeing and now seeing differently. I work in a department that it's like almost like home. Like from the doctors to the nurses to the koach ezer, and the secretaries and the bat shirut and my fellow occupational therapist. I can't forget her. I feel like we're like one family, and we all are for the same purpose, and we all work toward the same goal. In the beginning, the secretaries were taking home the patient's laundry because they had nowhere to do their laundry. And the nurses were bringing food for Friday night so that the patients could have a sense of normalcy. And my fellow therapist was bringing in things from home in order to like help the patients feel like they could do things like shower themselves and get themselves dressed. And even the most basic things people didn't have because they didn't have homes. So this became people's homes, which was just, it's amazing. And now as a staff, I feel like we're huge. We're a huge staff, but we're so very, very close. And the people really, the respect that we have for each other, and that we also know that the way that we were there for our patients is that the way that we're there for each other also. The head doctor used to call me and write to me in the beginning all the time to find out if my children were okay, because he knew that I had soldiers in the field, and he would send me little teeny notes all the time, which was like, here he is, he's in the operating room all the time, but he wanted to make sure that I was okay, which was amazing. It was really helpful in the beginning. We do what we need to do. You just need to do what I feel. Sometimes I tell my husband all the time is that I don't have anybody, like there's nobody that understands what we do here, and you can't talk about it because it's, patient privacy. You can't talk about what you see here. So there's really no one to talk about what you're going through except for the people that you work with. So those people become such a close-knit part of your life that is just, it's amazing. We have a patient come in, and we start to talk with the doctors about what protocol they want, and we look at their records and see what kind of surgical interventions happened, and we look at their x-rays to see also how we can best help them from the very, very beginning. We provide splints. We make splints to protect. Oh my God, I can't even think.
Oh. No, it's great. Keep going.
We make splints in order to protect different areas of the hand, and we also start removing the patient as soon as possible to promote function. And then we also work on activities of daily living, making sure, even if a patient doesn't have their hand, making sure that they can help dress themselves and feed themselves and bathe, use their iPhone, use an iPad, try to make sure that they can have some sense of normalcy, even though part of their body is not functioning to the full capacity. I think I want to say 95% of the patients I worked with are the resilience of this country, and the people that live here is just amazing. The soldiers that their hand was just damage was insurmountable, and they just want to get back to being a soldier and doing what they were doing before, or the family that from the South that doesn't have a home, and all they want to do is go back and rebuild. And sometimes their ability to overcome the situations just humbles you inside. It's just such a humbling experience, because sometimes you feel so broken, but then you work with somebody who's clearly more broken than you are, and their ability to see light in the situation and put quotes on their wall that are uplifting and positive, or every time you come in, they give you a blessing that you should be healthy, and that they thank you for doing your work, and you're thinking, no, I feel more thankful that I'm able to work with you and that you're in my life than the opposite. It's such a humbling experience. It's been a really hard year. It's been for everybody, I feel it's been a very hard year. I still have a soldier in the north, and it's like every time I see an injury, I feel like sometimes it makes me I don't want to say this to anybody else, but sometimes I feel not like, sometimes I see the parent as if I was the parent. Like, it's very hard to, like, mostly I'm able to disconnect, but sometimes it's very, very hard to disconnect. Like, I've treated my sons soldiers, I've treated my sons sergeants, I've treated his friends. Yeah, my son-in-law he was a medic. He is a medic. He was a medic in Miluim, and he called me up from the field, and he said, two of my soldiers just got injured in an explosion. They're coming I told them to come to Sheba so you can take care of them. And, like, at that moment, you feel like you want to do your best, and at that moment, you also feel like that your heart is breaking, because you know that it's so close to home. So that whole balance of the year was just, it was like I wanted to be my professional best, but also in the background, it was like, it was also trying to push, like, how I felt personally the whole year, which was hard, really, really hard. It's not over. It's no. But we're so good at our job now. Like, I feel like I always loved what I did, and I always felt like that I did the best I could and the best of my ability. But now I feel like we're better. I feel like we're, like, I work with Gabi, and I feel like we're really good. I know I can always be better, but I feel like we're really good at what we do, better than we were like 11 months ago. I feel like we know more, we're learning more, we're just a little bit more in tune with what we do, and I feel like we're better. I don't want to be better than this, though. I don't want an excuse to be better. I don't want any more excuses to be better, but I feel like it made us better. I wish that I didn't have to be better. I wish that the 7th never happened. Of course, we all wish that the 7th never happened, and that I never had the chance to become the occupational therapist I am now. But it did happen, and I feel like within the team that I work in, that we rose to the occasion. I feel like there's like a sense of pride that, like, of where I work and who I work with, and that I'm part of a team that is just incredible. People come in for small things now, just, they injured their finger while cutting an avocado, and they have to get their tendon repaired or their nerve repaired, and you see that they're so worried, and I'm like, no, this is the best time. You couldn't have picked a better time to have this happen, because we have such great experience. We're so good at it. This like a couple months ago would have been like a big deal, and now it's like just like a paper cut. So you're fine. You'll be fine. Just like the little things are. The big things have now become little things. One of my favorite patients, he got injured. He had his middle finger amputated, and he lost his finger, and he went right back into Gaza. Like, so before the war, if you had your finger amputated, your middle finger amputated, like it would basically take you out of commission, and you get points on being disabled, and you probably couldn't do everything that you wouldn't go back to work, and you'd have 6 months of vacation and time off from work. And he went straight back into Gaza. But he needed to work on exercises, and he needed to work on desensitizing the area where it was amputated. And he would send me videos that were deep inside Gaza. And he would send me back. He's like, I'm doing the exercises. Is this okay? And he would be in Gaza with a bunch of hummus and working on his desensitization. Or he would be making chocolate balls for his team. And he's like, this is really good, isn't it? And we were in contact, and some of the videos were actually, when it's dark, what is it called? Like when it's night vision. Some of the videos were with night vision, and it was just, for me, I just felt like there was a sense of hope, even though I didn't really want my patient to be fighting and be in danger. But it was just, for me, and we're still very close. We still send each other messages, and that was just like, sometimes I would just get a video from him, like doing something, and it just made my day, because I felt like I was doing what I needed to be doing. I hope we could be good in peace in more peaceful times. I hope that peaceful times will make us also be a little bit more innovative and better at what we do.